Hello, it's Jay here with another No Ums video. This is No Ums video number 28 for July the 23rd, 2022, post-surgery. On the 20th, I went in and had my surgery for abdominal hernia, and I've continued with my voice exercises and my reading out. Definitely just post that I was quite tender, and I could tell, like, exactly how much power I could kind of sing through was diminished. And even now I'm probably not doing it at full strength, but I'm doing it at enough of a volume, enough of a working level that I think it's safe. I feel like I going back to kind of just using the muscles is not a bad thing. It's just not to overstrain them. And obviously, things of like kind of exercises, like physio exercises, I'm doing at like a 5%, 5% strength level, even more so than vocal stuff. Though even like vocal stuff, I'm sure if I was a singer, that you really wouldn't be able to do this. As a speaking stuff, it seems to be pretty fine. So that is all good. I'm glad, even if I'm doing it at kind of half strength and it's not as much, that it's continuing along. That was my worry, is I was just going to disrupt things altogether. But yeah, so I can feel it. I can feel kind of the little bit of um, the work going on here in my tummy as I'm talking. I'm not on. I was on kind of more pain meds, and a part of the reason that I was slightly concerned about that is like, well, was I doing stuff that I wouldn't realize that I was hurting myself? Now I'm just taking some Tylenol, just regular Tylenol. If I was doing anything that was straining myself, I would feel it. I would definitely feel it now. So that is all good. The other thing I did was able to get completed post surgery was chapter 2 of Patsy Rudenberg's The Need for Words, which is, it's continuing with a bit of my frustration with the book. It's very much it seems to be following kind of in the advertising model of create a problem and then offer a solution. So this is very much the problem of her feeling that vocal that vocal oral culture, oracy, is under attack, and that it is dying out. Now she acknowledges that when she first wrote this book, things were actually worse than they are now. As she sees it now, things have started to kind of get better, that more people are interested in learning how to properly communicate, to talk, to be able to stand up in front of people and talk. And I mean, I think that's a part of the frustration with my book, is I'm very much coming from my own thing of I want to learn how to make presentations. I want to learn how to speak. And a lot of what I, especially because I'm such a creature of YouTube, it's all about people talking, about talking to other people through the camera. It's not live talking, but it is very much oracy. It is a certain form of oracy. So I don't see that. I mean, she does have good points about what it's like in the family home now, what it is like in for education, where there is much less time and space and resources devoted to learning how to communicate. Um, I think I made the point when I was talking about the chapter, that it's like, oh, I really hated doing presentations as a student, but I was never actually taught how to do presentations. That was never a class in itself. It was always just do them, which, no surprise, you then end up messing up there by doing them. I think it would have really helped if I'd had classes where it was about how to present, how to make an introduction, how to organize yourself. All that sort of stuff would have been a useful thing, and would have made it a little less of a torture to do presentations. And I'm only starting to kind of address that for myself now. So I understand that. She definitely comes from an older generation that has great distrust for technology. Um, we're probably not radio, TV so much as like the internet and video games and texting and email. She does not like any of this stuff and sees it as something that is kind of be is going to is only a bad thing, which it's like it's a tool, and indeed it's through this particular technology that I am starting to focus on learning oral communication myself because I want to get better at it. So I kind of roll my eyes. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're the old person shaking your cane at people yelling at them to get off your lawn and that they should be doing things your way. But it's like, you know what? We're in a different era now. Times have changed. You should probably try and adapt to those times. So there's definitely a little bit of that. At the same time, she's got some really interesting observations that do hit close to home. The idea of like, quick fixes are not the way of doing things, that it takes time to develop, to strengthen, to loosen up your voice. That A lot of people kind of go into it going for like, oh, I'm going to learn how to talk really quickly, and that is going to somehow make me a good speaker, which I think I went through a bit of a stage of that myself, of like, oh, I'm making these long videos, I'll just talk really quickly, which is like, no, that's not the way to talk in a way that people are going to want to listen to you. Um, Having the pauses, having allowing words to resonate, to think about stuff is far more effective. And I'm hoping that as we go along, we got one more chapter, which I think is her doing all her special pleading about how, the only way to learn is through vocalizing. There's a lot of stuff like that, which is like, yeah, okay, I get you're a vocal teacher, so everything is about vocalizing. And I mean, this is your book. You're trying to plead the best case for yourself, but it feels very much like you're pleading your case versus you're just sharing wisdom there. She cherry picks popular science, which really annoys me, or says some studies show, or it's to be believed. I really dislike that. That is annoying. But I think we get through one more chapter of this and we'll get on to far more particular exercises and examples that hopefully will be useful, that I can incorporate into the modern day as it was. So yeah, that is, I think, everything I'll have to say at the moment about no ums and no ahs for this week. I Theoretically I want to do an anxiety video on Tuesday, so I should probably start thinking right now about what that anxiety video will look like, whether it's looking at something, Barbara Hefferman's videos, or whether it'll just be doing a mental health check-in for myself, because I'm off work. This is my first week off work. Indeed, this is the last. I usually I would have gone to work on Tuesday, and this would be my last day before I had my weekend. So it's my first full week off, and I'm struggling a bit with what should I be doing. And a part of that struggle is that my body definitely is healing, and I don't have the energy to do what I want to do. I start feeling pretty crappy by the end of the day, so I'm trying to get this work done now before I start feeling crappy, because then I can't get anything done and I feel worse about myself, which who wants to feel bad about yourself? You try and work things, so you do things, so you work smart. All right, I will leave it there. Time for cookies for the guppies. I've been Jay. More videos later.